Okay, well, stay there for a second. Let me just please stay there too, Stella. I know you want to talk to Marion, but I want to go to Jason first. We wait a while. Jason, you're on Classic Hits. Go ahead, Jason.
Hi, I just want to say thanks for having me on.
Okay, go ahead, yeah.
I just want to, I think the two ladies there have brought up a couple of really strong, valid points. For me, though, as a father, I think, there's been a number of cases in the UK where it's down to the parents. It's down to the parents what they believe involves both the mother and the father.
Mm-hmm. By the way, you're the founder of a group called Children Need Fathers. The child.
That's correct. Yeah, okay. Well,
the co-founder. Sorry, co-founder. Yeah.
Yeah. But there's absolutely wrong that any woman. I heard one of your ladies there talking. It's absolutely wrong that any woman should have the choice to make this decision without the consent of both parties. But I believe that it's absolutely, if the child has a life and it has an opportunity to breathe and feel and if it protects future children, there's things that you can do if something doesn't work out. And I totally accept any pain for any parent of seeing any child in pain. My daughter in pain, that's something. She falls over and scrapes her knee. She cries and she gets upset. She emotionally or physically, any parent wants to protect that. But at the same time, when you're carrying a child and when the woman is carrying the child, that any woman is going to be emotionally attached to that child. And I believe that if it's got a pulse and it's got a heartbeat, then that child has the right to live, same as any animal has the right to live. Who are we to take that life away from that person, child, as it may be?
Well, okay, I'll let Amanda respond to that. Every child has a right to live, and that's what the person said in the email. The boyfriend said in the email to his girlfriend that he believes that every child, I'll give you his quotation actually, exactly what he said. He said, every human has a right to life. So even in your case, Amanda, even though you were, diagnosed with fatal fetal abnormality, that your daughter had a right to life, that nobody should have the choice to take that away.
No, well, we were told that there was no way she would live. She was going to die very soon after she was born.
Can I put something to you just to be fair? That there has been cases where doctors have said that and they've been wrong. It's unusual, but unusual.
This particular condition we could see on the X-ray. There was no way. Her X-rays were sent to France and London, and we had numerous doctors. It was a very rare condition in this country, and so we knew we were 100%.
Yeah.
But I just wanted someone to say. All I wanted was them to induce me and let nature take its course. They were going to let nature take its course anyway. But they left me for 10 weeks. Knowing that I had to go through this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was all we wanted.
And I'm sure that was quite depressing to go through that knowing that there wasn't going to be a happy ending at the end of it.
Yeah.
Because, any pregnancy, you go through pregnancy, I imagine, Jason, thinking there's going to be a happy ending at the end of this. But when you're in that situation, there's no happy ending.
Well, there's never going to be a happy ending, but I think a lot of things are mind over matter. Now, you can have... doctors tell you that I've got a friend, and she's like, in the teenage years, but she's got through cancer. I know cancer's easier to deal with, and people are getting more and more cures, and people are living longer through cancer. But if people had that mentality that, I'm going to die, and I think a lot of, they're going to fail. You believe what you achieve, and if you believe that your child is strong enough and has your genes, and
he's saying if I thought my child was strong enough, she wouldn't have died. Is that what he's saying? I'm not
saying that. I'm saying what you believe. If you believe in yourself that your child isn't going to be strong enough, then your child won't be strong enough. I don't believe that. I think a lot of things is mind over matter.
Oh, come on, Jason. This is nothing to do with mind over matter. This is to do with nature taking its course and a diagnosis by a doctor. I'm pretty sure Amanda, as the mother of that child, was willing that child to get better, willing that child to live.
Absolutely. I don't disagree with that.
And you just hear what she said, Jason? She would have gave her life if she thought that child was survived.
I don't disagree with that, but I believe that everyone deserves the opportunity to fight through things, and there's absolutely like I said earlier, there's no way in the world.
You have children, Jason. Do you have children?
Yes, I do.
And have you ever seen your children hurt?
Yes, I do. That's what I just said. If you just listen to what I said.
Yeah. Have you
Have
ever seen your child? Have you ever seen your child struggle to breathe?
Let me be straight with one thing.
Have you ever seen your child struggle to breathe? Have you?
Yeah? She's had a panic attack. Yes.
No.
She's
I'm
being
talking
very
about
tearful.
struggle to breathe and then not breathe and then be dead. Have you ever seen that?
Of course, I've never seen
Well,
that.
then you can't.
The point I'm
you
saying,
don't know what it's like.
No, I do know what it's like because I'm a father.
How do you know what it's like if you've never been there?
If you let me finish my sentence, I'll tell you exactly how it's like. As a father that doesn't get to see my daughter every single day, I have to live as if my daughter is like I have parental responsibility.
So you visit the grave. You visit the grave every day to see your daughter, do you?
No, I wouldn't. No. I would do if I needed to. Yes, if I needed to, I would. Yes. The point is, I don't have to visit a grave. I have an ex-wife that won't let me see my daughter every day. That is like living a death every single day. Sorry?
That's my point to you.
Excuse me?
That's her point.
What is your point? What is your point?
You're saying you know how it feels to have a child that died. You don't know how it feels.
I do because I get to see my daughter every single day. I do because I get to see my daughter every single day. She's living, but I don't get to see her every day. I miss bits of her upbringing. Therefore,
it's not the same.
Sorry? Of course, it's not the same. Of course, no. But you can grieve. The point is, you can grieve. You can get over it. The pain's always going to be in your heart.
So your situation is worse.
Well, yes, I'd say in some ways.
Okay.
A death of a child is not easy. I've lost my brother. In a car accident. Yeah? My younger brother, who wanted to be like me, he died in a car accident.
Okay.
I have to live that. I have to deal with that, and that grief is always in your heart. I accept that. I understand that. But for my daughter, not being able to see my daughter every single day, not being able to be part of her life every single day,
I haven't seen my daughter.
Her life.
But hang on, with the greatest respect, Jason, she's still alive.
I haven't seen my daughter for 15 years.
And with no hope of ever seeing her because she's passed away. So your daughter's still alive. Okay, I understand what you're talking about, father's rights and everything else, and I think it's disgusting. I do believe, by the way, and I agree with you, that it's disgusting that a father can be denied the right to be a father because of an agenda or whatever's happening through a court, but your child is still alive.
All I'm trying to do is analogize the pain. I've lost my brother. I know what death feels like.
I know, it's like grief.
The impact, it's the grief.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like the breakup of a relationship when you lose somebody, but they're still alive, and it's a really difficult grief. And I understand what you're talking about, but the child is still alive.
The right to live. Everything has the right to live, whether it be an animal or whether it be a human. Everyone has the right to live, and everyone has the right to have the natural process of life. It's the circle of life.
But so and I don't want to use this analogy and to minimise what we're talking about tonight, so when my dog was seriously sick with cancer and dying and puking and couldn't even stand, and the vet came over to the house and said the best thing we can do for this 14-year-old dog is give her an injection and put her to sleep, was that the wrong thing to do?
Is that the wrong thing to do? I would say it's down to you. It's down to everything.
It felt like the right thing to me. It felt like the right thing to me because I love the dog and I didn't want to see the dog go through any pain. We do it for a dog, don't we?
It's down to each individual. What I would say is...
Okay, so Jason, do you agree with abortion at all, under any circumstances?
No.
No circumstances whatsoever.
I believe it's down to the individual. I think if someone's going to be getting raped, and I think, again, it's down to that individual. But I believe if everyone's got the right to life.
Okay, well, do you, but stay there, Jason, please, for a second, if you can. And stay there, please, Marion, as well. We'll stay there, all of you, actually. Let me just go to Stella. Stella, you're on Classic Kids. How you doing, Stella?
Oh, no.
Sorry for keeping you so long, Stella, but you want to talk to him. Marion, you can probably address Jason with the same point, but go ahead.
I was just saying that my daughter was born in 24 and a half weeks and she lived for 10 minutes. My waters broke prematurely and I was in hospital for 4 weeks and they kept hoping that my waters would be replenished, but they didn't. But she got great care. She was put into this little silent room. It was like a little... I wouldn't say it's a morgue, but it's like a little church, and there's a little Moses basket for her. She had a little...
this is the point Marion was making earlier on, that we don't care about children, or we don't care about. And she was 24 weeks,
Yeah, she was 24 and a half weeks, and she was absolutely cared for. She was loved, she was absolutely loved. She had her own little baby girl. Everything was fitted to her size. She had everything for her. The nurses had
It must have been that must have been a very sad time for you, as I can
imagine. It was very hard. It was very hard. But then again, I can see it from the other point of view as well, because when I was 18 years of age, I had an abortion.
You had an abortion at 18 years of age? And why? Can I ask you why you had an abortion?
Why? Because at the time, it was back in the early 80s, and I wasn't asked. Still I wanted it. I was told I was having it, and that was it. My father told me I was having it. Went to England, had the abortion, and came home.
Do you regret that? Do you regret that?
Yeah, I do. In the earlier years, I didn't. But now, looking back, I have no children now. You know, two children are dead.
Can I ask you, by the way, if there was a referendum in the morning on abortion on demand in this country?
Like you and I, up until my daughter was born, I would have said abortion all the way. But after seeing her living at 24 and a half weeks, and her perfect little fingers, little toes, her mouth, her nose, everything. You know, she had everything.
Kind of makes you rethink things, yeah.
I find I'm sitting on the fence. I don't know what way to go.
It is. Look, it is. It's probably the toughest debate. It is absolutely the toughest debate, and other radio stations are going to be full of it over the next few months. Certainly coming up to this referendum. Jason, I'm assuming you would vote no under no circumstances.
I think it's difficult to vote no under any circumstances. If you look at the case of was it Charlie Gard's, the parents who had gone up to the European judges. For everything that goes wrong, there's ways of finding a way around it. Technology, science, what might be wrong or may not work for the child, there may be a cure in the future. And I think that everyone has the right to life. Everyone has the right to, you know, and as in the case of Charlie Gard, that poor little kid who's in Great Ormond Street, and the parents were fighting to keep him alive and take him to America. That there was a cure, a potential cure.
Well, doctors didn't agree. The doctors didn't agree with the cure.
Doctors and the judges didn't agree. No, they didn't. But then they go to America, they're going to have different, you know, same as you guys. I'm in Ireland, we're in England. I'm in England.
Just to clarify, because we talked about that case about 6 months ago, I think, when it first happened, or 3 or 4 months ago. Only last week, wasn't it? Only last week they were back in court.
Only last week, I think it was.
Yeah, and the judge decided that the doctors were right to turn off the machine.
Yeah. So, but then who are they? Who are the judges? It begs the question. Who are they?
Well, we had a case similar to that here in Ireland. We actually won last year with a similar case to that. And we also had another case where a woman had died and she was pregnant, but the unborn child was still alive inside her. And the parents wanted the machines turned off, but the doctors and nurses, because of the law in this country on abortion, couldn't. And they were basically keeping this woman clinically alive. Even though she was brain dead and completely dead, they were still keeping her organs moving to keep the baby alive inside her. It didn't work. The baby still died anyway. But the parents were begging the courts to let this woman die with dignity, but they wouldn't.
Well, I think there's a lot to be said about how long we're all living now. And we don't all live as long. The life expectancy for everybody is getting longer, and that's why everyone's got a bit more in pensions and what else. But the point is, the people haven't lived this long. We're not growing our life expectancy without learning along the way.
What do you say to a woman? What do you say to a woman who will say, you know, I've just found out my child is going to have a high dependency disability, you know, that's going to be in a wheelchair, 24-hour care, etc., etc. I've already got 2 children. I've got a husband. I'm not going to have this baby because I just couldn't give it the time. Did you call that selfish?
I would say it's pretty harsh. I'd say I don't believe there's been many. I don't know many women that would do that. I think. Well,
90% of those who text in tonight say they would.
But I just think that's pretty selfish. I think, you know, that's pretty.
Why is it selfish when you're thinking of not only yourself, you're thinking of your husband, you're thinking of the children that you may end up neglecting in some way because you're going to put all your effort and focus onto that one child. So that's maybe what they're thinking of.
You can get support, you can get help, you can get, you know.
Welcome to Ireland, Jason. I don't know you're going to get the support you want.
Oh, I love Ireland. Don't get me wrong, I love Ireland, and I've got my granddad from Ireland, so...
Well, the NHS, I can tell you, is a lot better than the HSE. You know, the NHS, when it comes to situations like that.
And that makes me sick with how people disregard and complain about the NHS in the UK. They don't know how good they've got it.
I can tell you now, you just don't know how lucky you are.
Yeah, well, I know that, definitely, absolutely agree. But I think the point is, you can't... What I'm not here to do is... It's down to each individual case, and I can't control, and I'm not going to want to influence any person's opinion or thoughts. I think it's down to the individual who is carrying that baby. It's down to that family. It's not down to me to have that opinion. I know what my personal opinion is, and I think that's why we live in a democratic society where everyone's entitled to their opinion. And I think for me, personally, I think I would not... I would not. I remember when my daughter was born, and my ex-wife, she was doing a birth in the water in a bath or whatever, and the first thing she said was, "Is she okay? Is she got?" And I remember my daughter coming out, and my ex-wife, and it was an amazing moment, and my ex-wife checked the fingers, checked the toes, checked everything, and thankfully she's fine. And I am so grateful to this day that she is healthy and all good. But would I for the leading up to that time, would I want to lose? I was talking to my daughter through my ex-wife's stomach. She knows my voice. I don't think anybody
would disagree with you, Jason. Nobody would want to change that for the world. But you didn't have a diagnosis of a fatal fetal abnormality, or you didn't have a diagnosis of a child that was going to have a severe disability. Listen, lads, I have to wrap it up. Listen, Amanda, thank you very much for holding on for so long, and I appreciate it. Thanks very much indeed, Jason, for coming on. I know you're on Twitter, and they got you, and you're actually in the UK at the moment. Another person says, in Ireland, the aftercare for babies with disabilities is appalling. And right now, I can tell you, disability awareness in Irish hospitals is practically non-existent today, says John. Another person said, if I saw the poor child in the pick in the UK, I would pick it up and run out of the pick, whatever that means, or the place. I'm assuming this place, is it? And keep it. Okay, the poor mite. Awful, Niall. Oh, this is the child in the UK hospital. Yeah, well, I'm afraid that's the judge's decision, and the doctor's decision was there is no cure for the illness the child has, and the child is in a vegetative state. So it's been back and forward in court, and they've now made a decision that the machine will be turned off. By the way, can I mention as well, there's news is coming in that 3 teenagers are being treated for minor